Hi, can you retire right now? It's one of the most common and most important questions I hear from clients in their 50s and 60s. Sometimes they've done a great job saving, and sometimes they're still not sure if it's enough. But what they're really asking is this: am I missing something that could come back to bite me? Because here's the reality: retirement isn't a light switch, it's a strategic transition, and it's entirely possible to have $1, $2 million, even more, and still not have the right plan to turn that into sustainable income or to retire early, only to be surprised by taxes, inflation, healthcare, or market volatility. That's why in this video, I want to walk you through 5 key signs that may indicate you're actually ready to retire, not just on paper, but with a plan that's designed to last. If a few of these items are missing, that doesn't mean you failed, it just means now is the right time to adjust. So let's dive in. Hi, I'm Brandon Persia, partner and financial advisor at Starboard Wealth Advisors. We help high net worth retirees and pre-retirees create personalized financial strategies designed to turn savings into reliable, tax-efficient income. If you find this kind of planning valuable, you'll find straightforward guidance here without the hype or confusion. Here are 5 signs you may be ready to retire right now. Sign number 1, you've replaced your paycheck with reliable income. This is the foundation of retirement readiness. You don't retire from a job, you retire into a new income system. So the first thing to ask yourself is, if I stopped working today, where would my income come from? Let's say your current take-home pay is $10,000 a month. If you're planning to retire, your lifestyle doesn't change overnight, but your income structure does. So you might be pulling from Social Security, pension income, investment withdrawals, rental properties, annuity payments, dividends, or distributions from our portfolio. But the key here is predictability and sustainability. You want to know how much will come in each month. What are the tax implications of those sources? And how long will that income last? Here's an example. Let's suppose a couple just had over $1.8 million saved between IRAs, a taxable brokerage account, and a small pension. Their monthly spending need was around $7,500 after taxes. Their retirement income plan, including Social Security, strategic withdrawals from their non-registered account, and partial Roth conversions, showed them they could retire immediately. With high confidence, their income would last well into their 90s. The takeaway? It's not about how much you've saved, it's about whether your savings can generate the income you need in a tax-efficient and consistent way. If you've already built that structure, that's a major sign you're ready to retire. Sign number 2, you've stress tested your plan for longevity, inflation, and market volatility. Anyone can retire in a spreadsheet. The real question is, can your plan hold up when life gets unpredictable? This is where stress testing becomes critical. So ask yourself, what happens if there's a recession right after I retire? What if I or my spouse lives to 95 or 100? What if inflation stays elevated for the next decade? If your retirement plan only works in a perfect world, it's not ready. But if your plan holds up when tested against bad markets, long lifespans, and rising costs, then you're much closer to truly being ready. Here's where we can help clients stress test. We run Monte Carlo simulations which test your portfolio against thousands of possible market outcomes, not just straight line growth. We model inflation, increasing healthcare, and lifestyle costs over time, and we adjust for different life expectancies between spouses. Some people may think they have a strong portfolio on paper, but once you add in higher healthcare inflation and a market dip early in retirement, many plans would fail. Some repositioning of assets for income stability and revision of withdrawal strategy could make a major difference without sacrificing lifestyle. If you haven't stress tested your plan, you may be basing your retirement on hope and not strategy. Sign number 3, your healthcare plan is locked in and affordable. For many retirees, especially those under 65, healthcare is one of the biggest and most overlooked expenses. Many people assume Medicare will cover everything after 65, but before then, you may be facing $1,000 to $2,000 a month in private insurance premiums per person, depending on your situation. So here's what to think through. Do you have coverage if you retire before Medicare eligibility? Have you priced in the full cost of premiums, co-pays, and prescriptions? And have you considered long-term care or planned for those costs yourself? Let's say you're 62 and your spouse is 60. If you both retire now, you may be looking at 3 to 5 years of private insurance premiums before Medicare kicks in. That's potentially $50,000 to $100,000 in costs, depending on your health and location. On the other hand, if your health care is covered through a retiree medical plan, the ACA, or even a part-time job, you may already have the green light. So what's the bottom line here? A clear funded healthcare strategy is a key pillar of retirement readiness. If your medical coverage is mapped out and fits within your retirement income plan, that's a major check mark in your favor. Sign number 4, your debt is under control and strategically managed. Contrary to popular belief, you don't have to be completely debt-free to retire, but your debt should be manageable and purposeful. There's a big difference between a modest, low-interest mortgage you've budgeted for versus high-interest consumer debt that eats into your income and forces higher withdrawals. Here's what we can look for. Is your mortgage payment affordable within your monthly income? Are credit cards or personal loans draining your cash flow or increasing your tax bill? Have you accounted for upcoming large expenses, like home repairs or helping adult children, that may lead to new debt? An example may be someone carrying a $250,000 mortgage into retirement with a 2.8% fixed rate, with a low total housing cost that was just 12% of their retirement income. If they had factored in paying a mortgage into retirement, they had a strong portfolio backing it up, probably wouldn't be a problem. But there may be some people approaching retirement paying 18% interest on $30,000 of credit card debt because they didn't want to touch their investments. That could be a big red flag. If your debt is structured and planned for and doesn't threaten your income strategy, then it doesn't have to delay your retirement. Sign number 5. You've built a tax-efficient withdrawal plan. This is one of the most overlooked parts of retirement readiness, but it's also one of the most powerful. You can have 2 retirees with the same assets and very different retirement outcomes, simply because of how they take their withdrawals. Here's what we can help clients figure out. Should you draw from your taxable account, IRA, or Roth first? How do you time Social Security benefits to minimize taxes? Are you staying under key tax thresholds to avoid IRMA surcharges or higher marginal brackets? Let's look at a hypothetical example. A couple had $1.2 million split between an IRA and a taxable account. They wanted $90,000 a year in retirement income. If they pulled it all from the IRA, their taxable income could spike and their marginal rate could jump to 24%. They also could owe more for Medicare premiums down the road. Instead, they could do the following. Take $45,000 from their IRA, take $25,000 from their taxable account, and fill the rest with capital gains and qualified dividends at a lower tax rate. Same lifestyle, much lower tax bill. If you've thought through your drawdown strategy and coordinated it with your Social Security timing, account types, and tax brackets, you're miles ahead of most people. And it's a strong signal that you may be ready to retire right now on your terms. So let's step back for a moment. If you've checked these 5 boxes. 1. You've replaced your paycheck with reliable, consistent income. Number 2, you've stress tested your plan for bad markets, inflation, and longevity. 3, your healthcare strategy is clear and affordable. 4, your debt is under control and not straining your retirement income. And number 5, your withdrawals are structured to keep more money in your pocket and not the IRS. Then you may be in a much stronger position to retire today than you realize. And that's the key insight here. Retirement isn't about picking a date. It's about reaching a point of financial clarity where the numbers work, the risks are managed, and the income is designed to last. But if you're not sure about one or more of these items, it's not a reason to panic. It just means now is the time for some thoughtful, personalized planning. Maybe you need to adjust your withdrawal strategy. Maybe you haven't tested your plan that holds up and down markets. Or maybe you just need a second opinion to validate what you've already built. And that's what I'm here for. If you're approaching retirement and want to make sure your plan is working for you, not against you, then let's talk. Click the link in the description below to book a free consultation. I'll walk you through your options, answer your questions, and help you move forward with confidence. Remember, at Starboard Wealth Advisors, your financial destination is why we're here. Thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, make sure to watch our other videos for more clear strategic guidance on how to retire well.